Rising Soul Fam. So while we have Venus retrograde for 40 days and 40 nights, I've decided that I'm coming on for 40 days and 40 nights to share some Gene Key, human design, and I Ching resources. We're having our own little sacred ceremony. This is part of my 40 Days of Devotion Challenge journey. I invite you to join me if you feel aligned with that. Where every day I am sharing on TikTok, on YouTube, on the Way of Namaste, from the Wisdom Keeper's Story by Dr. Rosy Aronson, from the Tao by Ma Deva Padma, and by the Quantum Human Design Activation Deck by Karen Curry Parker, plus the Mudra by Richard Rudd. So each day for 40 days, I'm sharing all these separately on TikTok. These are all part of our virtual community on the Way of Namaste. So I've been putting these on all through the year. This is like my 4th time going through this. But I'm sharing them this time, sharing them, saving them, and putting them in a place where we can access them pre-recorded at any time. So as we are embarking on this journey of life, we've got some magic at our fingertips that we can play with. So today I am inviting in contemplation for Gene Key 51. This is the shadow of this is the shadow of agitation. This is the gift of initiative, and this is the divine expression of awakening. So some may say that now in this time of Pisces before Aries, we're in the end of times, we're in the revelations where all is revealed. So as we are closing a chapter, we're also opening up this portal to 2025 with major astrological events. This is a very unprecedented year. So why wait to share these as I normally do when we're collectively navigating them? I'm sharing them in 40 days so anybody that's taking this journey with me can see, oh wow, I can see how these are related to one another. So even though right now we just entered Gene Key 22, we can also deeply feel Gene Key 51 because we can always feel the shadow of where we can feel the density of victim consciousness in the collective and how we can awaken to it. How can we make this the gift that we collectively navigate, and how can we put our energetic signature, our timestamp, our impression on it so that we can keep this collective tapestry of authenticity while also putting in our divine essence. So here we go. This is Gene Key 51 today. This is coming from Dr. Rosy Aronson's deck, the 64 Faces of Awakening. So maybe you have this one in your chart, maybe you're just contemplating it, maybe you feel some resonance. So here we go. It starts off with a Richard Rudd quote that says, "Creative initiative is the path of every human spirit. Every one of us must at some point in life leave the crowd and head off into the uncharted wilderness of our heart." Programming partner is 57, which is unease, intuition, and clarity. So my wisdom story. When I was just a toddler, several monks appeared at our door. After vigorous testing, I was recognized as the incarnation of a spiritual master. My parents were not religious people. They were shocked, but too subservient and cowardly to fight for me. I'll never forget crying as I was taken away from my mother. For 1 year, I was bathed in love and attention by my appointed teacher. I loved him so much. He always showed me pictures of my parents, reminding me of our connection. But one day, our monastery was brutally attacked by hostile soldiers who hated our people. My beloved teacher was killed. Before I knew what had happened, I was swept up into the arms of another monk. We escaped through the mountains and arrived in another monastery. Though well cared for, I was terribly jumpy and nervous. I had trouble focusing on my studies. It was hard to trust anyone. My mind and heart understood I was safe, but my body didn't. It was always on guard and desperate to release its agitation. Violence wasn't an option, so my mind took over. I became obsessed with moving up the ranks in the monastery and constantly reminded myself that I was special because I was chosen so early. I was determined to be the first of my peers to awaken. To my peers, I seemed fearless, disciplined, and precocious, but deep down, I was actually traumatized. Thankfully, my new teacher saw the terror in me and understood the shock that I'd been through. He also knew that shock would be one of my very greatest teachers. One day it would help me release the false security of the ego, accept the certainty of death, and awaken to oneness. But he also knew I was too young to understand this. So instead of a lecture, he gave me a paintbrush, a canvas, and the freedom to do whatever I wanted. His instruction was simple: follow your heart. The first stroke felt like jumping off a cliff, but soon I was filling the canvas with colors and symbols unlike anything ever seen before. My body relaxed, I made friends, and I lost interest in competition. At first, I believed I was creating something new through the art, but now I know I'm only rediscovering and retracing an eternal truth. There's no need to bring something new to the canvas, only to unveil the canvas itself. My gift to you. I'm not here to lead you, but I am here to initiate you. It's time to step off the beaten track, release everything you've ever thought, you've ever been taught, and embrace an entirely new way of being. Though you may stand upon the shoulders of others, in the end, only you can take the leap. There's no safety net, no way to avoid the fear. And if you want to transcend fear, you gotta move through it. Honor your creative impulses wherever they take you. Let your awe-filled heart lead you back to your own heart. Good fortune is inevitable when you trust the love inside of you. If you do have a need to compete, do not compete with others. Funnel your competitive urges into your own creativity, and soon you will find competition replaced by deeply fulfilling collaboration. Questions for competition. Questions for contemplation. We're moving from competition to collaboration. Can you feel it? Do your fears keep you feeling agitated, hopeless, or shut down? Do you shy away from life? Or do you engage in risky behaviors? Does your competitive drive get in the way of your relationships? And do you ever draw out the hostility in others and you don't even know why? Think of a time when you faced a fear and experienced a breakthrough. What were you afraid of? What and who gave you courage? And lastly, what leap are you being called to take at this time of your life? Find a creative way to explore an unknown. So here we go. How can you take the initiative right now while we have Venus retrograding to add love and beauty to your love, to your life, to your heart, to the heart that is shared by everyone? So today, maybe taking a little initiative to bring more love into the planet today. I love you.